So what is the link between semen retention and spiritual awakening? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my personal story of spiritual awakening. We'll be looking at the 4 stages of spiritual growth. You'll have to identify which stage you are in right now, because what stage you are in will make all the difference for you. And then towards the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you how to use semen retention in order to increase your consciousness, increase your awareness, and supercharge your spiritual process. Okay, so what is spirituality? Because when we talk about topics as such, it's really important to narrow down and get to the root of what we are talking in the first place, because 2 people can be having a conversation and they can be talking about spirituality, but their associations with it are on completely different levels, and this leads to the majority of the content being lost in translation. Okay, so before diving in, let's just narrow down on what spirituality is in the first place. Okay, so the best way I can share it with you is through my own spiritual awakening process. So back when I was 19 years old, I was a university student and I did a year abroad in the United Kingdom. Okay, so if you know anything about the education system over there, the entirety of your grades are determined by the end of the final exam. So for the whole year, you can basically mess up and screw around. And then if you do well on the final exam, you are basically good to go and you can have actually stellar grades as a result of it. Okay, so I was doing a year abroad in the UK and I was there. And if you know about Europe, then you know that the flights are very cheap in between the countries over there as well. Okay, so me and my cousin decided to take a trip down to Amsterdam. All right, so we booked I booked my travel dates, I booked my hostel, I booked my airline ticket, and I was all set to go. And then on the last minute, my cousin bailed on me. He's like, yo, my dad didn't allow me, I can't make it, like, you'll have to figure this out on your own. Then here I am at a crossroads. I'm like, should I go on this trip right now to a country where I know no one, I know no thing, I know no place, I know nothing about it, I've never traveled on my own? Or should I just cancel everything and just, carry on with my everyday life and just experience the loss of the money which I'm going there? So as you can probably guess, I took the first option. I went on this trip, and this was the complete changing and inflection point for me. Okay, so before going on this trip, I identified as someone who was introverted, who was shy, who had difficulty meeting new people, who was just in himself and was not able to have the communication skills to actually go and make friends. Okay, so I had grown up with the same few friends in high school. It was like 15 people in my graduating class, and they were the same ones since childhood. And then even in university, it was like the same few kids that I spent time with that I met in the dorms. So here I was, this kid who identified as an introvert, who identified as a shy person, going to a completely new country and a new city and having this experience of being completely on my own for the first time in my life. Okay, so I remember I was sitting there in the hostel and I was, contemplating in my head whether I should open a conversation with this person over here or not. And then, going through the thought chatter and stuff like that. And just by pure willpower, I was able to go and say hi to one person. Okay, said hi to him, had a small talk conversation with him, said hi to the next person, and then on it went. And then by the end of 1 week, I had connected with more people than I had in my entire 18 years prior to that. Okay, so this was the trip where I realized that the thoughts, the emotions, the prejudices, the opinions that I had about myself were completely shattered through this, because I thought I was shy, I thought I was introverted, but here I was forming connections with like hundreds of people, like talking to bouncers, like talking to random girls on the street, like just being so extroverted that by the end of the 7 days, I was just so in the zone. I was so open that I was a completely different person at the end of it. And I describe this as my spiritual awakening, because there's not like some magical, mystical moment that took place, even though I have experienced those as well. But this was a stepping stone, because it allowed me to realize that who I think I am is not who I really think I am. All the thoughts, all the emotions, all the opinions, all the prejudices that I'm carrying inside in between my ears are not even real. Okay, they have no existential basis, as Sadhguru would say. So this is when I realized that, okay, I don't even know who I am. Like, my thoughts are not me, because I can observe my thoughts now. And that's when I got started on meditation as well, whereby I got getting expanded perspective on realizing that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my body. So what am I at the end of the day? And this is what I describe as a spiritual process, as a spiritual awakening, because you realize that you are something outside of these thoughts. You are something that's outside of your body. Okay, you are the awareness in the backdrop that is observing all of this take place. Okay, the best analogy is that thoughts are like clouds in the sky, but you are the sky. You are ever present, you are always there. The thoughts come and go, but the sky is always there. Okay, so what is spirituality? What is a spiritual process? It's identifying what is real and what is not real, what is you and what is not you. Okay, you are not your thoughts, you are not your body. Like every single one of your cells within your body regenerate, they change themselves, and the spiritual process is letting go of everything that is not you and consciously realizing that you are something that is beyond your perception. Okay, it's not something that can be explained in words, it's not something that can be captured through an emotion. It's something that is beyond all of that. Okay, and realizing that you are this consciousness that can evolve and change with whatever experiences that you have, that is a spiritual process. Knowing that you are not who you are, knowing that you have potential for growth, is the ultimate realization for me through that trip. Okay, so what is spirituality? I really love how Sadhguru explains it. If you haven't checked out some of his videos, I definitely recommend that you do so. But he just says that what's the difference between animals and humans at the end of the day? The difference is that, okay, like for example, animals, they're born, they eat, they reproduce, they die, they sleep. Okay, humans do the same thing, but the only difference is that animals are compulsively doing this. Okay, they're instinctually just acting out based on their programming. They're reacting to the environment however they see fit based on their instincts. But with humans, the gift is our ability to choose how we are to show up in this world. Okay, we can choose the nature of our experience by choosing our thoughts and choosing our associations that we form with the experiences that we have. Okay, so where does semen retention come into all of this? Well, it really comes down to the differentiation between compulsively reacting to the stimulus in your environment to consciously choosing how you wish to show up in your life. Okay, so when you are addicted to pornography, when you are addicted to the compulsions of binging on food, of binging on alcohol, of binging on drugs, of binging on pornography, the reason is because you are compulsively reacting to this craving that you have. Okay, even though intellectually you understand that you are wanting to end these destructive habits. Of course, if you loved yourself truly, you would act based on your self-interest, but bodily you have been conditioned with this craving, with this temptation to go in and succumb to this short-term gratification. But when you don't give into it, when you shine the light of your awareness and your consciousness on how you feel in that moment and choose how you want to show up, that is the spiritual process. Okay, moving from a state of compulsive reactivity into conscious creation so that you can choose your response and choose how you are showing up in your life. And semen retention is a huge aspect of this because so many guys are addicted to pornography and addicted to these compulsions, and pornography honestly is just a byproduct of this lack of awareness of knowing that you can choose how you show up. You can be the conscious creator of your life rather than reacting to environmental stimulus and cravings and your body telling you that you should do something or the other. Okay, and that brings us to the 4 stages of spiritual awakening. Okay, so the first stage is really what a lot of guys are stuck in, which is when life happens to you. Okay, this is the victim mentality. This is when you are stuck in those compulsions whereby the stimulus in your environment dictate how you are. You make excuses, you blame, you complain, and you are the victim of your life. You are at the effect of things happening. Okay, you are not the cause, you are the effect. And the second level is when you become the cause in your life. Okay, you go from being at the effect to causing an effect in your life. Okay, you go from life happening to you to life happening by you. This is when you are tapped into the manifestation frame. You understand that you can change something, you can change your behavior, and as a result you will experience something different on the outside as well. Okay, this is when you can change your habits and you realize that, okay, now the results in my life are changing as a result of it as well. Okay, so this is really the focus, the determination, the commitment, the willpower of doing what needs to be done right now. Okay, and by the way, this 4-stage spiritual model was introduced by Michael Beckwith. I definitely recommend you check out some of his videos. I actually found out about him through Mind Valley as well, and I'm sharing this with you because I believe that it really ties in nicely with the semen retention and how it can help you transcend these levels as well. Okay, so from the second level, which is when life happens because of you, when life happens by you, is to the third level, when life happens through you. Okay, this is a state of flow when you're tapped in, when you don't even know what you're doing. You are just completely engaged in the present moment. You seem like it's like something is behaving through you, and you are the vehicle of life expressing itself. Okay, you are the avenue through which life is expressing itself. Like sometimes when I make some of these videos, it's like I have to really grind and hard and just make these videos and, you know, get the commitment going and get the consistency going. But other times it's like I make a video and I look back, I'm like, shit, I don't even know what the fuck I said in this video, and then that ends up being one of the one that gets a lot of views because people are like, okay, this guy is talking about something that deeply resonates with me right now. Okay, so that's the third level. And then the fourth level is when life happens as you. Okay, the division between subject and object disappear, the duality disappears. You realize that you are at one with life, you are life, and there is nothing that is separating you from everything else in your life. Okay, so where does semen retention come in from this? Well, semen retention, if you are a practitioner of sexual kung fu, whereby you can learn to conduct your sexual energy throughout your body and learn to channel it up through your spine, up towards your head, if you can experience those multiple orgasms with your partner who you're deeply connected with on a very passionate level, then you can actually tap in and experience that fourth level of spiritual awareness, whereby the division between subject and object disappear. Okay, you become at one with your partner, at one with everything that is, and that realization really can change you at a fundamental level. Obviously you will not be operating from that level like all the time. Obviously there's a fluctuation. Obviously we have to completely neglect the first level of being a victim. We take responsibility and choose our response. But those three levels is like, for me personally, I can tell you that I have been fluctuating through them. Okay, sometimes it's all willpower, sometimes it's all grit and grind and hustle, and then other times like that grind and hustle opens up to the point where it's just flowing through me. I don't even know what I'm saying and it's just happening. And then that fourth level is something that I have experienced, whether it is through psychedelic drugs, but you don't have to do it to have that experience. You can do it through the practice of sexual kung fu, of conducting your sexual energy, channeling it up your chakras, opening it up and channeling it towards your head, where those multiple orgasms just allow you to experience that wholeness and oneness and unity of just you being at one with everything in your life. Okay, so there's a whole different level to this. Like if you're watching this video and you're still addicted to pornography, understand that the first thing you must do is to just stop your habit. Okay, go 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, however many days that it takes. Do it so that you can step onto this next level of semen retention, of spiritual awareness, of expanding your consciousness and having the spiritual experience of oneness, of unity, of wholeness, so that you can go on to behave in a way that benefits you and as a result benefits everyone around you as well. Okay, so just wanted to shoot this video right now. Got into Bali a couple of hours back and I have to keep consistent with these daily videos every single day of the year. But I hope you got value from it, and if you did, let me know in the comment section below what is your number one takeaway from this video, and also let me know what is your number one struggle that you're facing right now, and I'll do my best to help you out in the future with that. Okay, so this has been Mo. I hope you got value from this once again, and I'll see you in the next video.